Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Agitum Kize, also known as BlackGirlScientist, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So I'm super excited to be back and bringing you guys all the content that you signed up for. Thank you so much for the support thus far. We're almost at 600 subscribers, so that's really exciting for me. I'm going to be optimistic and push for 1,000 by the end of 2020. 2020 has been quite the year. So anyway, today, as the title suggests, I'm going to be talking all things PhD, things I wish I knew before I started pursuing my PhD. For those of you who don't know, I'm currently pursuing my PhD right now, and I'm in the second year of my PhD. So in this video, I'm going to be covering basically what it is to be doing a PhD, things I wish I knew before I actually enrolled. I know it's the end of the year now. If you've completed your master's, whether you've just completed it or completed it a while ago, and you're thinking of pursuing a PhD, or you've already applied, or you're in the process of looking for PIs, for projects that you're interested in, then this video is for you. So if you're interested, keep watching. So as I said, today I'm going to be talking all things PhD. So first of all, what is a PhD? I think as usual, we're always going to define things. So of course, a PhD is a Doctor of Philosophy. It stands for Doctor of Philosophy, and it's something that you pursue in searching for furthering your skills, or doing research that is novel, or carrying on and being kind of a specialist or someone who's very knowledgeable in the particular field that they're studying. So that's basically what a PhD is. I really want to urge you that if you're thinking of doing a PhD, please do it because you really want to do it. It is a long journey. PhDs are 3 to 4 years, even longer. It really depends on you and of course on the kind of research that you're doing. So it's a long commitment that you make. So you have to make sure that you really want to do it, and it's something that you want to pursue with your whole heart, because I promise you the journey, it's not an easy one. It's very different to other degrees that I have, and I'll get into that in the video. It's very different, and it's something that you really have to really want with your whole heart, because if you do a PhD and you're in it and you start being frustrated, you're going to end up really hating the PhD journey, whereas in actual fact it's a really beautiful journey, I think. So don't also pursue it because you want the fancy title which comes with a doctor in instead of a miss or a mrs or a mister. Please don't also do it just because you want to be Dr. Somebody. It's really not worth it. It's and people in my field especially, they don't even like being called Dr. So-and-so. Everybody likes being called their first name. Well, that's in the science field. I don't know how it is in other fields if people actually really want to be called doctor. So you really have to do it because you love it, and it's research that you really want to take forward, or in your particular field it's something that you need to do to be more knowledgeable and gain skills in that particular thing. So that's the first thing that I'd really want to urge you to do. Please do a PhD if you want to do it, and if you really that is like what you want with your whole heart. I cannot emphasize how important it is to do your PhD because you want to do it. So kind of the things that I wish I had known before pursuing my PhD. I'm sure there are lots more. So if you are currently pursuing your PhD now, or you already have your PhD, please leave me a comment down below on things that you wish you knew before you started the journey of your PhD. So these are just mine, and like I said, I'm only in my second year of my master's, and because this year was filled with disruptions because of COVID-19, I feel like I didn't fully experience being a PhD candidate that's like always in the lab and stuff like that this year. But just so far, things I wish I had known is that firstly, a lot more is expected of you as a PhD candidate as opposed to a master's candidate. So I did my master's at the same place now where I'm doing my PhD, and with the same supervisor. So the level is way different of what my supervisor expects of me, of what is expected of me in the department, of what my lab manager expects of me, of what other people even around me who are also studying, whether they're studying or their staff, also expect of me. There's just a lot more that's expected of you. It's like growing up, I guess. It's like being an adult. Just a lot more is expected of you. A lot more is expected of you. So just be warned and wary of that you're no longer like considered a junior. I'm no longer babied, I'm no longer spoon-fed and things like that. I am just expected to know that. And I feel like my supervisor really likes the line now of saying, Zagi, to your PhD now, you're not a master's, you should know this. So trust me, a lot more is expected of you, and that's going to require you to stay well informed on your research topic, you know, in the lab, whether you're doing your PhD in the lab or not, you know. But people in the lab, you're going to be expected to, you know, be sharp and just be, you know, not being like how you were when you were a junior student. You're also going to be expected to train other people as a PhD candidate. So I currently and have in the past trained students that are master's students and honor students on particular skills and techniques that I've learned throughout my postgraduate career. So you're going to be expected to train that, and that comes with a huge responsibility, because when that person does what I've told them to do, it should work. First of all, it should be successful and successful experiments. And if anything goes wrong, that person of course is going to say, oh, but Zagiti told me to do this. So that comes with a huge responsibility. So you have to make sure that you're sharp and that you're really on top of your game in all aspects of research. So another thing that I wish I knew before I started my PhD is that you're actually held accountable for a lot more than if you were a master's student. So I mean, we're not going to talk about women and accountability, but you are held accountable for a whole lot more when you're pursuing your PhD as opposed to your master's or even your honors. So just be prepared for that. And just going back to my previous point, that a lot more is expected of you, but you still have a whole lot more to learn, which is something that's so funny, because I was actually speaking to a postdoc at my institution now, that, you know, when she was doing her PhD, I felt like she knew everything and I was doing my master's. But in actual fact, she was telling me that she actually didn't know that much. It just seemed that way. So as you go up, you know, from master's to PhD or even postdoc, if that's what you want, you know, there's still a lot to learn. Although you may come off, like I was saying, when I was a master's student and I looked at PhD students, I was like, wow, these people know so much. Like, how am I ever going to get there? And I hope now that even my master's students look at me and are like, oh my gosh, this person knows so much, when I'm just like, I really don't know that much. I feel like there's still a lot to learn, and this applies to all fields. You know, you can never know everything. I mean, even doctors, lawyers, engineers, they don't know everything. There's things that they learn, you know, on a daily basis or somewhere along the line. So there's really still a lot to learn. It's okay if you don't know, although you shouldn't say you don't know. That is something that my supervisor taught me. Rather say that, oh, that's an interesting question, I'll read up on it and get back to you, or I'll read up on it further, etc, etc. Never, I don't know. So another thing that I wish I had known is that there actually is really no set time. So like I said in the beginning of the video, a PhD is usually 3, 4, 5 years. There's no set time of how long a PhD is supposed to take you. Some people even do it in 2 years. So it's really, there's no set time. Don't put pressure on yourself. If you're currently pursuing a PhD now or are going to, don't put pressure on yourself for a timeline or anything like that. It takes however long it's supposed to take for you, and everybody's journey is different. So that's another thing. And what else did I want to say? yeah, that you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do a PhD unless you really love research. So as much as in myself pursuing a PhD, my PhD is the center of my life. I'm doing my PhD full time, and of course, like I said, because there's no set time, because a lot of people do their PhD while they're working as well, but for myself, I'm doing my PhD full time, so the PhD is the center of my life. And I don't think you should let it consume you though as well, like it completely consume you, because at the end of the day, you're a young adult, or you're a person who has, you know, other things to do in life, the other aspects of your life, you know, like I said, normally people do it while they're working. They may be older, they may have a family, they may have children, they may have a husband, so, or a wife. So it's really something that you shouldn't let consume you, like completely. Like I said, the PhD for me is the center, and I have other things that I do around it, such as this channel and other ventures that I am pursuing as well. And although I absolutely make my PhD the center of my life, because it's the most important thing that I'm doing right now, and of course I'm doing it full time. So yeah, I just wanted to share that video about everything PhD, things I wish I had known. I hope that you learned something from this video. If you're thinking of pursuing a PhD, I hope that you consider some of the things that I mentioned. And of course, if you already have one, please leave me a comment down below, or leave us a comment, since we're a family here, about things that you wish you had known before you pursued your PhD. So yeah, that brings me to the end of my video. Thank you so much for making it thus far. And since you have, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and click the subscribe button, and don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed this video, and of course leave me a comment down below. Connect with me on my social media handles. Let's keep the channel growing, and I can't wait to bring you more exciting content this week. I know I haven't been very consistent because like I mentioned in my previous video, that I am back in the lab now, so things got a bit hectic, especially because I was out of the lab for a long time. So I'm still trying to find my feet and find time to film, of course, but I haven't forgotten about it. I haven't forgotten about you, and I haven't forgotten about my family here on YouTube. So please go ahead and subscribe, and let's keep the channel growing. Let's keep things flowing, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you guys on the next video.